Hi everyone, this is Selvi. Today's topic is related to guesstimate versus estimate. This is one of the very important topic for the estimation. Let's try to understand these two terminologies with some example, then get into the actual software related terminologies. Let's consider two scenarios, two webinars that are planned. One webinar is completely spot registration. So you directly walk in to the place and register there and you can attend the webinar. The second one is completely pre-planned. It is like you should book your slot and then attend the webinar. So the first thing, the first webinar, let's take webinar A and webinar B. So webinar A, where it is based completely on spot registration, how you can estimate? You will be able to roughly estimate it, right? How many people are going to attend the webinar? The reason is you don't know really how many people are going to come, but you have certain information from the past, like okay, similar webinar happened last week and these many people have attended, so roughly we can say like these many people can attend. So that's how you will estimate. So this is a rough estimation. Rough estimation is also called as ballpark estimate or ballpark figure. Here, without knowing the complete details, you are roughly estimating the details. Here you don't know how many people are going to attend the webinar because it is spot registration, but based on certain information, you are able to roughly estimate it. Now let's take the second scenario. Second scenario is completely based on pre-booking. So already people have registered, they booked their slot and they are going to attend the webinar. Here you have much clarity. You know how many people are going to come. Almost you know that how many people will be attending the seminar or the webinar. The reason is you have already enough details and you have who all are going to come and they have already booked the slot. That gives you much more clarity. So you know that exact or very close to exact figures you know related to second case. This is the same even in the software process. When you are starting a product or when you are starting some work, you may not have all the information that is required to estimate the things. You will be having certain information alone, but still you should be in a position to estimate in a way how much time it is going to take. Whatever the available information. Will this guesstimate can turn into an estimate? Yes, of course it should turn. How it can turn in that webinar scenario, how it can turn? First thing, you don't know how many people are going to attend because it is spot registration. You can still restrict, okay, what is the capacity that you can accommodate in that particular hall where your webinar is going to happen, and how many extra seats that you are going to provide if more people are going to come. Then by the way, you know that almost 100 is the set of seats that are available. If there are more people going to visit, then I can arrange for extra 25 seats. So at the maximum it cannot go more than 125. But initially you may not have this information. You have only information like webinar is going to happen and it is based on spot registration. But when you already have this guesstimate value, you try to refine it more by asking so many questions. If more people are going to come, what will happen? If less people are going to come, then what are we going to do? From past week experience, we have taken that these many people are going to attend. This is happening on weekend. That happened on weekday. So can we look at the data which happened on weekend previously? And this topic is a trending topic that what we are going to discuss about. Are we expecting more people to join the webinar? So these all are the questions that you will ask to understand and make that guesstimate value into an estimate, because estimate has most of the information, right? In the second webinar scenario, we know that how many people booked the slot. We know that they have known the topic, what we are going to give, and they are interested in that topic. And they already confirmed that they are going to visit. And this is the set of seats that we have planned. And these are the seats that people have already booked their slot. And these are the seats which are left out. Are we anytime planning some kind of spot registration? All these things we have clarified. So we have complete information on the second example. But whereas in the first example, we don't know initially. So we can only say from the past information, this is the guesstimate I can provide. But slowly, if you keep on asking so many questions and trying to set some standard, trying to refine certain things, that guesstimate value will turn to an estimate. Similar thing happen in the software process also. When you are starting a product, you may not have all the information, but you still need to give some kind of guesstimate, because you need to plan some timeline. When can we release the product, or when can we expect a demo from this product? Because we cannot wait for 3 months to understand how the progress is going to happen. So we should be in a position to give high level estimate. The high level estimate is also called as the guesstimate or ballpark estimate. So in this way, initially with the information whatever we have, we will try to give this value. And what we will be doing, slowly start understanding the requirement details, start asking about the technical challenges, understanding the dependencies, understanding the risk, mitigating the risk, resolving the dependencies. We fine tune all the information and get into the position of estimating those things. So at the very beginning, always it will start with a high level estimate, which is a guesstimate, and then slowly we need to get into the level of estimate. That's how our flow should happen. And always the high level estimate will be provided when there is no sufficient information and at the very beginning of the product execution or the project execution. But slowly when we start getting more and more details, we move from the level of guesstimate and go towards the estimate, because we are getting more and more details. Like how we have asked on the first webinar related example, when we start asking so many questions and try to understand the requirement more, refine the details, set some values, all those things happen, and then we are sure, okay, at the max not more than 125 people. So we have the clarity. So this is how we will be calculating the estimate, and we will be sharing the guesstimate. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope this would have helped related to guesstimate and estimate related details to everyone. Stay tuned.